Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means share it with anyone to get something out of it. Other than that, let's just get into it today, guys. First of all, there's been a lot of attention on the channel this week, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. So anybody new, thank you so much. Everybody returning, thank you so much. I love all of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you so much. If I could ask anything, please drop a comment. That would be really a big help in promoting the channel. The YouTube algorithm will push my videos out more when people respond and drop a comment. So even if you just leave a thumbs up or anything you can, I appreciate it. Anyway, enough promoting. Let's get into it. So the Just for Today NA meditation is huge. I love these things. There's a reason I come back to these things every day. And today's entitled Patience. I'm going to go ahead and read it and we'll talk about it. Patience. We were trapped by our need for instant gratification. I want what I want when I want it, and I want it now. That's about as patient as most of us got in active addiction. The obsession and compulsion of our disease gave us a one-track mind. When we wanted something, this is all we thought about it, and the drugs we took taught us that instant gratification was never more than a dose away. No wonder we had no patience. The problem with that is we can't always get what we want whenever we want it. Some wishes are pure fantasy and others take deliberate action. All good things come to those who are willing to put in the effort and remain patient and faithful that they will come. In addition, we sought instant gratification, squandering our resources. In recovery, we learned to prioritize, sometimes delaying gratification of some desires in order to fulfill more important long-term goals. To do so requires patience. We practice our recovery program seeking the kind of full-body spiritual awakening that allows us to truly love living life on life's terms. And then the Just for Today affirmation goes as follows. Higher power, please help me to discover what's most important in my life. Help me learn patience so that I can devote my resources to important things. Right, guys? I mean, there's a reason I come back to these things day in and day out there. Incredibly good life lessons, and they teach us to live better. And that's one thing, guys. I am somebody that I was taught patience the hard way. I used to be so impatient, right? For those of you that know me better, I didn't have a driver's license for, Jesus Christ, guys, most of my adult life. So before I got into the city, I was always, relying on somebody else for a ride, and I learned to be very punctual because, I wanted people not to be frustrated if they were offering me help getting me places, and so I learned to be very punctual, and then most people aren't, and I learned to be very patient. I was constantly sitting around waiting for somebody for something, and patience is a virtue, and it's one thing I'm very. The other thing I learned, patience, guys, is the hard way, because at any given time I could be plucked out of my life and thrown in jail for months at a time, and I was doing a lot of human warehousing, which is terrible, but it does teach you patience, and I am grateful that I've learned to be so patient. Now I've been able to apply that in a positive way in my life, because when I see things that I want, I don't need to have them immediately. I know if I get up every single day and I just do the best I have and try to stand out in every situation, that good things are going to come to me. And I've also learned that my way of thinking was so broken in my previous life that most of the things I thought I wanted aren't what I really needed, and that I was often selling myself short, and that's something I did to a disgusting degree. In recovery, I'm pouring into myself, and I'm giving myself credit, and I'm charging my worth, and I'm finding my worth, and I'm just trying to be the best person I can, for just that reason, just to be the best person that I can, because knowing full well, the better person I am, the more I step up and the more I try to be a standout in every situation in my life, the better blessings are going to come into my life, the better my life is going to progress. And like I said, that's a little dance that I've been doing with the universe, because, guys, one thing I had to understand was most of my desires were asked backwards. Most of the things that I thought were important to me weren't, and I didn't really know what my value was. So I decided to turn my will and my desires over to my higher power, and to just take the leaps of faith at every opportunity, and just pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that are showing up in my life on a day-to-day basis, and act upon those and see where they're leading me, to see where I'm supposed to be. because that's literally how in resonance I am, guys. That's how much I know that I have a mission and I have a reason for being here. But I also know that I have a lot of insecurities and areas that I just don't see my full worth and my full potential. So rather than having these half-assed desires that could be wrong or limiting myself in what I'm capable of, I take the definition off of it, fully trusting that if I show up every day in the energy that I do and just try to be the best I can, try to pay attention and make a difference in other people's lives wherever possible, that it's going to lead me to much bigger and better things than I ever thought I was capable of. And guys, I'm a very humble person. I don't like to get on here and say I'm this, I'm that, but I'm trying to teach you guys. You have to have belief in yourself. You have to believe that you are capable of creating an amazing life and that you are deserving of an amazing life in order to get an amazing life. And every one of us is deserving and capable when we do the work. When we show up as the best healed version of ourselves. When we stop trying to get over on other people and try and just take. Why not give? Like, I tell you, that's something I do constantly today, guys. And I'm noticing that the more I do, the more that comes back to me. And that's why I get on here and talk about this so much, guys. I love my life today. Like, it is shocking to me that this has only been 6 months, because I feel like I've built this amazing situation, and I have. But a big part of that is because I've gotten out of my own way. I hate to tell you. I mean, it's a very disempowering statement to say that everything that was wrong in my former life was because of every action that I took. But it's absolutely true. When I look back over the course of it, guys, I've been given some amazing opportunities considering the shitstorm that I handed myself. But every time I'd step into one of them, I'd get all cocky and full of myself and think, okay, and then I'd go out all excited and want to show everybody how cool I was, and I'd do something stupid, and I'd set myself back years. And that's just that pattern that repeated over and over and over again. And fortunately, I'm able to see that now, but I'm only able to see that now because I stopped that behavior. I stopped looking for instant gratification, and I took a pause. And I took the time out just to try and figure shit out and figure out who I am and what matters to me and what my life's purpose is and what I'm really supposed to be doing here. And in doing so, I saw very many things about me that are very different than other people. Not better, not just different. And so that's what I'm leaning into is the areas where I'm strong, areas where I have a step up over others. And there's many other areas that I'm very, very behind in, and I'm looking to others to show me the way in those. Guys, it's not about thinking you're better or different or anything else. It's just it takes all of us to build a community, and there's a reason for that. Every one of us are stronger in certain areas, and then are deficient in others, and that's just part of the human condition. But by becoming part of something bigger than you, you're able to help others with your strong points, and you're able to learn from others in your deficiencies, and it all balances out in this beautiful, beautiful situation, guys. I love looking at my situation today and then seeing where I can help somebody else, and I do so regularly. As a matter of fact, I was just over at South Bay. I was over in Roxbury doing some work on a project, and I've been trying to replace some of my clothes because I haven't been clothes shopping. I hate shopping, and but I'm realizing, like, as I'm trying to have balance in my life, so I'm trying to step out and engage in just whatever areas, whether it's just go and eat dinner or just being out in public. I'm realizing that all my clothes are all trashed from work, so I'm trying to replace some of my clothes now that I can afford to do so. And I was over at South Bay at Marshall's, and I'm like very particular about certain things, in particular my socks. I don't like wearing regular socks. I hate when they get thin and worn out, and I don't wear anything with holes in them, and it's uncomfortable, and it just beats my feet up. I'm on my feet a lot, So I figured I'd go check out Marshall's and TJ Maxx and see if I could find any decent socks. And anyway, while I was over there, there's so many people out there just begging and trying to scam and get over. But I saw a couple people out there collecting bottles, and I'm like, all right, you know what, good for you. At least you're trying to do something for yourself. And I actually had a whole bunch of empty returnables in my truck, not beer or nothing, but soda and shit like that. So I brought them over my truck, and I gave them what I had, and I just got to talking to them. And they're like, oh, you do construction? I'm like, yeah, I do. I said, and I told them straight up, I go, listen, here's the deal. If you are out here collecting bottles, clearly, things aren't going great for you, but at least you're trying, and I commend that. If you're using drugs or alcohol, and I'm not calling you out, guys, I'm an addict in recovery myself. There's so many programs. Here's my email. I can see you got a phone. You can reach out, and if you need help, I'll be happy to help you out, and I'll help you find a bed. And if you do so, when you get out, I'll help you find a job. Like, I know people in every service industry there is. That's what I do. I coordinate subcontractors along with the work that I do. I said, I've got a lot of resources, and I'm happy to pass out. And I'm not. And these people are like, well, what do? You tax $1 on every. No, absolutely not. I have my business. I make my money that way, but I make myself feel better by reaching out and helping somebody else that's down and out, that's trying to do good for themselves. And if I can help you get into a program, get yourself straight, get into a halfway house, and then help you get a job, I made a friend for life, and it makes, those are the things that make me feel good. And a couple people responded well, and a couple you could just tell straight scammers, but that's life. And I got no problem with that. But I know at the end of the day, I did the best I could to try and uplift another human being. And when I see somebody out there trying to do better, well, I've offered a hand. And I do the same with people that I know. If I know people that are, whatever. These guys, I talk about it every day. But these are the things that make me proud of who I am today, right? It's the actions that I take. It's the patience that I've learned and understanding that, not everything is going to happen overnight. I'm not going to be a millionaire tomorrow. But if I do the work today and I do the work tomorrow, somewhere down the line at some undetermined time, things are going to be way, way better than they are now. And things now are shockingly better than they were 6 months ago. Shit, never mind a year ago. Guys, honestly, like I say this with 100% truth and conviction. If you pulled me aside 1 year ago and told me I'd be doing any of the things today, that I'd own my business, that I'd own my truck, that I'd be speaking on commitments and guest speaking at my AA group, and I'd have the contacts that I do, that I'd have the money that I have in the bank, that I have any of what I have, that I'd be taking classes at Harvard University on a scholarship, I would have said, no, you got somebody else. That's not me. That's physically impossible. There's no possible way I could possibly get there. And it's the truth. I couldn't. But my higher power brought me there. My belief in myself has allowed these things to happen. And every one of you is capable of everything I'm capable of, and probably way more. But it takes deliberate action. It takes belief. It takes resonance. It takes being in alignment with your soul's true purpose. It takes understanding that you are a powerful creator. And you are. Every one of us is. We're creating the lives that we're living right now, good or bad. And I don't say that to call anybody out, but I say it to empower you to understand that if you start making changes, you'll start receiving good changes. If you start taking good action, speaking deliberately with yourself, praying, meditating, whatever your version of that looks like. But if you find it and you find sync and alignment with it, right? Start eating better, doing better, seeing your doctor, like taking better physical care of yourself, taking better emotional care of yourself, and then growing spiritually. Your life will expand in the most beautiful ways. It's funny, 1313, as I say that. I believe in that angel number stuff, so if you guys don't understand why I call these out sometimes, ask. Drop me a comment, and I'll explain anything you want. Drop me an email, and I'll give you my whole, everything I've done from day one, and help you try and apply it to your life. That's literally what I'm here for, guys. That I've come to find out that's my soul's true purpose. That's why I post these videos every day, and I will continue regardless. I get very, very excited when I see growth on the channel. Guys, I'm nowhere near making money on this channel, and I don't care if I ever do, because I work for a living. If someday it does, that means that I've gotten better and I'm reaching a bigger audience and I'm helping that many more people, then fantastic. And I do truly believe that someday it'll get there. But I know I've got a long way to go before I'm ready for that, and things will progress along as my higher power knows I'm ready. As I have more ability to help, he'll bring more people to me. And that's the beauty of my life today, guys. I know full well that I'm right where I'm supposed to be, doing exactly what it is I'm supposed to do. And as new things come up, they'll be presented to me. And I'm so believing that good things are coming, that I'm paying attention to those things. And as those opportunities come, I'll jump right on them, and I'll make whatever changes I need to make. But I know that I'm not going to be handed anything I can't handle. Just like the surgery a few weeks ago, guys. It's, we're coming up on 4 weeks of my surgery, and it's like it never happened. I barely even have a scar from it. I've healed incredibly well. And what that did, people say, it's funny, a couple of people reached out, well, you're so in resonance, what happened there? I'll tell you exactly what happened there. there was something in my body that I abused for years because I used to eat all sorts of raw meat, and that's what your appendix does is process raw meat. And I wore the damn thing out, and it was starting to poison my body, and so it had to get removed, and I'm grateful for that. But beyond that, guys, what that did was it showed me an opportunity that I was going to be medicated. I was going to be handed drugs that terrify me, and it showed me just how willing I am to fight against that. It showed me just how strong I am in my sobriety, in my recovery, that literally the entire step of the way through I would not allow them to put them in my body, even if they were telling me I needed to. And I came home Monday morning feeling like $1,000,000, like that whole fear of mine that someday some dealer is going to offer me a drug at a bad day and I'm going to accept it. Hell no. I feel pretty confident about that when doctors telling me I had to take them for my health, and I'm like, absolutely not, dude. I'm strong. I don't need that shit. Get that shit out of here. You ain't putting that stuff in my body. And it wasn't to prove a point, guys, because legitimately, I instantly knew that all this work I've done to reprogram my brain, I don't know what's going to happen if that drug hits my system and that switch, that monster switch in my brain is suddenly activated. But I know today that I'm aware of that. And I will fight against that. And that's the most comforting feeling I've ever had in my life. Guys, that's the lesson for today. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day out there. I hope you're all having a great time. I appreciate each and every one of you more than you could possibly imagine. Guys, always remember, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next one.